Kinkley.
I'm Gabby.
And I'm Colin.
And we are the water team.
Southside ReLeaf has partnered with the University of Richmond to help improve flood preparedness in the city of Richmond.
Our team ground truth 5 areas: Huguenot, Midlothian Turnpike, Shacklebottom, Oakwood, and Manchester to see how rain events impact flooding in these areas.
We distributed this flooding survey to help Richmond citizens have a place where they could feel like they could talk about their flooding experiences, as well as talk about the areas that needed improved infrastructure.
Enjoy.
Okay, so what are we doing?
So today, since it's been raining a lot all day, we are taking my car out into the city of Richmond and we are going to see, we're going to stop by a few areas and see where there has been flooding and where there has not been flooding.
And we do this because we want to see the places that have good infrastructure for flooding and the places that don't. And so we're quite simply going to see how these places compare and contrast.
Okay.
We're going to go take a peek.
Yes.
Wait, do you see flooding?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I see some big puddles over here. Well, this actually is flood infrastructure, right? I was really impressed by the ditches and the infrastructure that they had in the Huguenot neighborhood. I didn't know what to expect, but we saw a couple puddles, but really no major instances of flooding.
Honestly, that neighborhood was a great example of how to properly prepare for floods. They had some great ditches and some great flood divots. You could see the water even like running through the ditches and the divots, which shows that they were not only there, but they were also working.
Yeah. It's very like a relatively simple way of solving that problem without like needing too much infrastructure.
Is that flooding? No, that's grass. I see puddles.
Okay.
It's also like it hasn't been raining for a couple hours.
That is also
I'm
true.
seeing normal size puddles.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Good one. We're just getting a picture of a little flooding zone right here in the Shacklebottom neighborhood. We got a seriously big puddle right here, and as you can see, Exhibit A, that truck just ran through and got a bunch of water all over it, and it's causing problems. People are having to go around it, and so we're just doing a little survey probably to just track what we've seen so far.
What if we can use this as our picture for the form? I have it open.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, that's a good question, Julie. What do we do if there's not a lot of flooding or like obvious puddles like the one we just saw?
Well, even if there isn't a huge puddle, it's still helpful for us to fill out the form so that we can get an idea of where there is not flooding.
So basically, whether it's like raining or not raining, flooding, not flooding, we should still fill out the survey to like get a sense of what's going on around.
Definitely. Whatever is happening in the different neighborhoods around Richmond is really helpful to us.
If somebody's going on their evening walk or their evening run and they just don't happen to see that big puddle there, they might fall in that and slip. So this is the type of stuff that makes a difference when we do the survey, because we're tracking it, we're plotting it, and now we know where part of the problem is at least. So, you know, we can help mitigate stuff like this from happening in the future, you know.
You enjoyed our vlog. One thing that we noticed while we were ground truthing is the intentional use of divots in front of a lot of houses to help redirect the flow of water.
And along with these divots, we also noticed that the areas with more vegetation also had less flooding. So there seems to be a need for more greenery in residential areas to help mitigate this issue in Richmond.
And finally, we noticed a variable amount of flooding in each neighborhood. And we noticed that the more affluent neighborhoods were less likely to flood, and the less affluent, less funded neighborhoods were more likely to flood.
Thank you to Southside ReLeaf.
Thank you to the University of Richmond.
And thank you for watching.